different areas in New Jersey have become very attractive. They have, Trenton, I like the fact is it was the state capital, right? It has a train system. It's a 20-minute train ride, less than 20 minutes to Philadelphia. It has a waterfront, but it was just an old town full of bricks, brownstones, walk up. And I just knew that city would be coming back.
Okay. Well, now, could you explain some strategies you use to find these good foreclosure deals?
I go on auction.com, hubzu.com. I spend a lot of time chasing what I call list pendants. These are the foreclosure listings that come straight from the county courthouse. I basically have a team knock on doors, and it's always with the intention of seeing what we can do to help first. So you're going to find out 90% of the people are not going to qualify for a modification, but they might qualify for a short sale. And the one thing I'm able to do with a short sale is, most of the time with the bank, I'm able to arrange the seller to receive something back at closing. So those are some of the things, best ways to do it.
Now, explain to us what a short sale is for those who don't know.
That's when you have a person that's undergoing foreclosure. They got caught behind their payments, and they're asking the bank, can they sell the property and entertain offers on the property for less than what they owe?
And the banks usually go for it?
It depends. It depends. I mean, is it a competitive offer?
Now, what are some tips to kind of recognize homes that are going through pre-foreclosures? Is it uncut grass, or how would you notice it? Like you said, I know you'd say the list pendants. That's the court records, but are there any other ways?
Very good question.
That's a very good question. I tell people the court records are fact. A lot of times, we're all worried about getting everything digital, right? I still get the paper newspaper because legally, banks still have to print the notes and T owner, anything like that. So I like to print paper still. But also, some people like the unkept grass. I see a pile of newspapers or a pile of mail. You know, all those factors. Even you might see a house boarded up. It doesn't mean the bank owns it. I mean, that property can still be owned by the owner of the property. So you really have to investigate the situation of where that homeowner or property owner is at before you can actually say it's a short sale.
I had a question.
Go ahead, bro.
So I was back to my piggybacking off my last question. So this is all public information. Everybody in the world that's still in the physical knows that COVID is done and all the government restrictions are out of here. So wouldn't that create more competition for the exact thing that we're trying to do right now?
When you say create more competition, as far as what? I'm asking.
As far as other investors such as myself, you and Bruce, attacking the same side of the pond versus going the other side of the river.
Well, I'll tell you this. There's probably what? How many? What's the Dow Jones? What's the NASDAQ? You know what I mean? No, there's investors investing every day. You know what I mean? Competition is good. That means product is moving. You know what I mean? No. So, would you like if you show me something that you're moving product, Jonas? So it lets me know the markets are opening up, right? But it also lets me know that there's people out there hurting. So,
That's
I mean,
a fact.
you know what I mean? And that's when and see, what I tell people is this. some people, they go crazy when they see blood in the water, right? When I hear somebody, the number one pitch when I approach somebody for a short sale or in foreclosure, right? You know what I say to them? Some people like to say, oh, I want to buy your house, right? I got a team that calls up, and their name, a company I founded, it's a non-profit, right? We don't have a 501c3, but we're just registered at the state of New Jersey as a not-for-profit, right? And it's called the New Jersey Homeowners Assistance Agency. We call a home, how can we help? How can we help? See, people call, hey, Mr. Jones, I want to buy your house and see that you're behind on your mortgage. First of all, they already heard that pitch. How can I help you? My companies received information from your mortgage company's attorney that I believe we can assist you. Your mortgage company attorney. Now, if you're doing your right research, you know the date their mortgage was started, you know who the mortgage company's attorney name is, and you're not lying. Because, like my man just said, it's all public record. So your mortgage company attorney did supply me with this information. So when you start throwing familiarities out to somebody, to Mr. Jones, they're more likely to deal with you because you're knowledgeable.
Marlene,
as to having someone just calling
Yeah,
your list.
let me give a shout out to Marlene Jordan. Thanks for joining. Josie Davis is watching. Ruby Wilson. And like you said, Marlene Jordan said, more competition just means you have to step your game up and differentiate yourself. Very true. Very true.
I tell people that, you know, it's just, you got to keep, in this business, you'll find out too, is some people, once they close one deal, they're gone, they're done. They're done.
That's a fact.
They're done.
I had another question. So there's processes to a foreclosure, right? There's pre-foreclosure, then the foreclosure, then the bank owns it. At which point of the three are the ones that you're targeting, or is it all three?
I'm targeting all three. I'm targeting all the way up until the sale date. You know what I mean? Because I happen to know that if I present a homeowner, right, they usually get, like in the sheriff's sale, they get 2 adjournments a lot of times, right, the homeowner, right? But in this day and age, right, if a homeowner goes to a judge with a contract, hey, I have somebody who's willing to buy my property, da-da-da-da-da, and they got to go before the judge, even they go before the emergent hearing, the day of the sale, that judge will usually postpone it and give them at least 30 days and say, hey, listen, a lot of people don't realize that you can also vacate a sale after it's been sold by simply filing a bankruptcy. You can vacate it within 10 days after the sale.
That's very good info to know. Let me write that down.
Okay.
But I tell people this all the time. One thing I've learned in real estate investing, even in wholesaling, I've learned how to scale up, scale down, scale up, scale down, depending on the market.
Okay. Well, as my assistant has lined up, the next part is part 3. I don't know if you got a copy of the script she gave, but part 3 is the benefits of joint venture partnerships. Now, of course, we know what it is, and you mentioned it earlier in the wholesaling game, how it became mostly about joint ventures. But for people who are watching this that, you know, retiring and want to get in real estate and really don't want to deal with the risks that we deal with, they just want to put their money in. Can you kind of explain the benefits of joint venturing with, you know, professionals or experienced investors such as yourself?
I think it's a great way. If you're truly going to joint venture on some real estate investing things, that people have to set some parameters, right? Number one is this, and this is how I treat myself as a wholesaler. I treat myself. I have a Wall Street background. I consider I have different tiers, right? When I'm wholesaling and just flipping papers, I look at myself somewhat as a real estate trader, right? And one thing I know is this, is that difference is being is this. You give me 100 grand to invest, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to show my client with an 8%, 12% return within a short period of time. So I explain to them, hey, listen, we can joint venture on this. And they'll say to me, well, you're making 50 grand, right? Yes. And I'm giving you 12 grand back within 90 days, right? Here's the thing. Joint venture doesn't mean 50-50 partnership. Now, you want to be my 50-50 partner, write me a check for 100 grand because of my knowledge, right? That I'm able to do the things that we're all able to do. And then you bought into my company, and then I'm willing to share profits. Because a lot of people don't realize that's the setup in law firms, right? You make partner, oh, they offer you partnership, you're writing a check to become an equity partner, depending on that law firm. You just don't get partner, you don't get partner status because you hard work. You get partner status based on the volume of business you brought in, right? And based on your ability to write that check to become a partner in that firm. So there's different levels. So when someone says to me, hey, Bruce, I got this house, I'll put the money up, I'll do it. Okay, that's fine. But you know what? There's a syndication fee up front that I take off the top before we even do that partnership. So if you're gonna finance the whole thing, fine. But for bringing the deal to light, hey, I'm getting a 15% override or a 10% override up front, then we become 50-50. Joint ventures are beautiful, but each joint venture should be deal specific. Shouldn't be just done we did one deal together, we're all going to deal the same. No, it depends on the numbers and everything, Jonah. Okay.
Got it.
And we have a clear outline of who's doing what and what it is. Like I've had joint ventures where I've told them, listen, I just want you to handle all the financing. And I like to do that sometimes with new investors because they get the experience of writing checks out, who they have to go to. They're at the closing table, so they can't say, oh, he skinned me off the top. You know what I mean? Or I didn't know that I paid for that, you know? No. Let them hold that money in escrow with the title company or with the lawyer and let it be drawdown. Because what I don't let anybody else do is tell me you have $100,000 to do the repairs on this deal, and I found out after we closed you only got $50,000 because you spent it. No, somebody reliable, somebody ethical has to hold that money, and it doesn't have to be me. It has to be a fiduciary.
All right. Well, since we are live and this video is going to be up, let's scale it down a little bit on the JVs and kind of cover the way we met each other on those levels of joint ventures. If you remember back in 2017, it was a young lady named Crawford who actually needed some help. She came to me on Facebook, and I think, what did I post a deal and you seen it or something? Somehow me and you connected.
Yeah, you posted a deal that you had a deal in Jersey City.
Right. And
I saw it and I contacted you.
And true story, we made a deal and made money without no paperwork signed, a virtual handshake, without even knowing each other.
And I called you and said, I called you from the bank and said, hey, I need your wire information. You said, what? We closed?
Yeah. I was still wet behind the ears, man. I was shocked. I was like, oh, it worked.
But I'll give you credit. I'll give you credit. Because I remember what I said to you. I said, Jonah, listen, I've been doing this a long time. I'm going to prove to you we can simplify this. Like that deal comes straight to my company, right? I'll share the HUD with you. I'll tell you what I'm making. Tell me what you want. Tell me what she's want. And I promise you, boy, now I'll let you know who the lawyer was and everything, who was closing and everything, right? But you trust me to piggyback it. And then It's not like we had an agreement where you said, hold this amount in escrow for me. You trusted me brother to brother to send you the money. And it worked out.
That's right.
It definitely worked out.
Closed that deal from my bedroom in Ohio, and it was
Yep.
in Jersey, in his neighborhood, without signing,
Yep.
no paperwork with him. Trusted him.
Yep.
And I hope people learn that, you know, I wouldn't recommend that.
Not today, I wouldn't. But we had a certain amount. What it was though, it was just we had immediate rapport,
Right.
and we both felt comfortable. No, I don't advise that. Like I tell people, people worry about these assignment deals and all this, and worry about getting paid. I tell people they need to master what you call the addendum, an addendum to a contract, where if you told me you had a deal and you agreed to get a $10,000 fee from me, a simple addendum signed between me and you to present to the title company, right? Basically saying that out of my proceeds, I agree to give you $10,000. And once the title company acknowledges seeing that, they're going to send you that money.
Oh, yeah.
They have to put,
Oh, yeah.
and they're going to do that. So a lot of times people just do, they overdo the paperwork, you know, and or they're afraid to give you information because, number one, they don't have the deal, you know. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, I know he was trying to say something.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He freeze?
Yeah, he freezing.
Okay.
Kind of like that dude on Harlem Nights, the boxer. Just give him, man. We're going to get it. Here he comes. You going to be a rich nigga. Well, he must have heard me because he left.
Yeah.
You got a bad signal, brother. Whenever you come around, we waiting on you. So
type it in.
Now, the next part of this session that she's written up is the Q&A. If the guests or anybody got questions, the floor is open. But I kind of wanted you to kind of shed light on your program that you got, because I don't want to give away your strategy. I'll be kind of waiting for you to share that, because there's some things you told me in these past two conversations that just blew my mind, and I keep that, that's locked in. But I'm pretty sure your course offers these strategies, because you said you sold something for like $700,000. One of your strategies.
I said,
elaborate on that.
I had this hedge fund approach me. Down in North Carolina, and they were interested in buying, properties all up and down the East Coast. So basically, they saw that I was able to show them that, hey, this is my system I use. I've closed over 1,500 deals, right? And they've always been A to B, B to C, A, B to C, that type of thing, and showing them that I had a unique strategy. So they basically made me sign a non-compete, and that's why I was off Facebook for a while, I remember. And I took a 2-year deal with them, right? And basically they gave me $700,000 to come on and work for them for 2 years, basically. So I got $350 up front, then $175, and I bolted out. And what I'm doing now is I'm teaching people the system I've used. And I tell people, like, 2018 was my best year ever. On my own, with the 4-man office, I was able to net out $1.8 million just by flipping properties off Hubzu.com, wholesale properties. And I have a system that's worked for years, that I've tweaked, different ways to even buy properties with no money, using hard money lenders, private money lenders, how you can buy properties, sell properties to yourself, wholesale them from yourself to yourself, and just the crazy different ways of making deals work without using very minimal dollars, if any, on some of these deals. And What I don't do is this. I don't sell a course per se. Is you're not getting a shiny book from me with, hey, read this or these videos. What I do is I break them down to where I sell a wholesaling boot camp, Zoom meeting with me for 90 minutes. Just for my time, I think I charge like $100, $199, something like that. Then I have a 7-session course with mentoring for 2 weeks after that.